I want to throw out some fun facts about the January 2025 sales today, some of the January superlatives. First, I'm going to start with the least expensive sale. People usually start with the highest sale, but I have a lot more clients who ask me to help them find good deals than to help them find the most expensive home on the market. So I'm going to start with the lowest. It also gives me an opportunity to talk about a little bit of Reno history, which I think is really interesting. Hopefully you do too. So the lowest sale was a condo at 567 West 4th Street, Unit 507, in a condo development known as the Sierra Vista Towers, which is right across from the Neon District. It sold cash for $75,000, and that was a 550 square foot, one bedroom, one bath condo. How many of you longtime Reno residents remember the Cheers Hotel? I remember it as a teenager, and it was literally a hotel based on the 1980s television series with the branding and everything. You know, you want to know a place where everybody knows your name. That Cheers. So I did a little research on that because I remembered it. It was actually rebranded as the Cheers Hotel in 1989. The operator told the Reno Gazette Journal that the Cheers motif, based on the television series of the same name, is meant to denote happy times and a comfortable surrounding. We're hoping for it to be a local's place. So that hotel was originally branded as the Reef Inn, and that was built in the mid 1970s as a Polynesian themed motor hotel. And they had furnishings imported from Hawaii and Polynesian cuisine. I guess it was kind of during the Elvis Goes Hawaii craze. Anyways, interesting history. It was the Pearl Hotel for a while, and then it became the Cheers Hotel in 1989. But the Cheers TV series ended in 1993, and the hotel bearing its name didn't last much longer. It was eventually sold to a Ramada Inn franchisor in the mid 1990s. And then later on, it was a Howard Johnson Inn very briefly, and then a Daily Weekly. By the early 2000s, it had been remodeled and replatted as the Sierra Vista Towers, which were condominiums, but people bought big blocks of them and rented them out as apartments. In fact, you can see what they were offering for deposits and rent up on the screen. And it's incredible how much more expensive stuff has gotten. Anyways, for $75,000 cash and $925 a month in HOA dues, that condo now has a happy new owner there in the Sierra Vista Towers. The least expensive single family residence to sell in January was 309 K Street. That's 850 square feet, and it sold for 214,000 and some change. And it sold off market. It wasn't placed on the multiple listing service until it was sold. But from the one picture I have, it looked like it was pretty rugged. The lowest price single family home that was marketed on the MLS is 1795 Carville, which sold for 232 and some change. That home is 973 square feet, and based on the pictures, it was in pretty rugged condition too. Both of those were cash sales. Just from my general observations, fixer-uppers are selling and flippers are finding deals. As I go through the new MLS listings and the status changes and the hot sheet every morning, I see a lot of homes, both single family and manufactured, that are being listed by flippers. And I see that flippers are having success in securing some good priced off market deals. Now, if you have a distressed home and you get an unsolicited offer from a flipper, it is worth your time to get additional opinions on what people would be willing to pay to purchase and rehab the home. Now, the home flippers I know closely are ethical people who I respect, and they try to be transparent about their intentions, but they're trying to get the best deal they can. I have had distressed properties where I have been representing the seller, where we've received some pretty persuasive offers from flippers that ultimately I recommended to my client that they say no to. And then we ended up selling them for quite a bit more money. And there's been times where the offer from the flipper ended up being the best deal. So all I'm saying is get a second opinion and call me. I'd love to discuss it with you if you're in that situation. So moving on to lowest price per square foot, The lowest price per square foot for a condo was once again 567 West 4th Street, Unit 507 that we talked about before. The lowest price per square foot for a single family home was 18553 Spicer Lake Court out in Cold Springs, which sold for 155.21 per square foot. And I remember looking at that 3666 square foot listing and thinking, man, that is a lot of house for that price. And I'll tell you what, I have a decent sized telescope. I like to use it, and I am always jealous of Cold Springs residents when I'm out there at night. There are a few places in our area that have darker skies out there. So congratulations to that buyer for getting a pretty good deal. Okay, now on to the largest sale for the month of January. That honor goes to 12955 Silver Wolf Road. That's kind of a tongue twister. In the gated portion of Field Creek Ranch. It sits in a nice spot overlooking Whites Creek and the Wolf Run Golf Course. Really, really nice home. Really awesome RV garage. It was only built in 2021. I think it was designed by CWX Architects and built by PHC Builders. The listing agent on that one was the very talented Kirsten Childers of Sierra Sotheby's, and the buyer's agent was the also very talented Katie Conway of Ferrari-Lund Real Estate. So you get what you pay for, and that is a very, very nice, almost new home, sold by two agents I like a lot. Incidentally, Silver Wolf also, see, it's a tongue twister. Silver Wolf also had the highest price per square foot at $904.39. But remember, that awesome garage does not count towards that price per square foot. Now, how about the biggest discount? This is the home that sold for the largest percentage under its original asking price. That award for the month of January 2025 goes to 1895 Mayberry Drive, which was originally listed for $600,000. Ended up selling cash for $395,000. Now, from what I understand, this home, which is a really charming home with a ton of potential in a really, really cute neighborhood, but it had a pretty sticky sewer situation that was going to cost a lot of money to correct. And situations like that are one of the joys of home ownership, where you find yourself stuck with a pretty complicated issue. Fortunately, there were experienced realtors on both sides of that transaction, and they figured out a way to make it work. If you haven't had a chance to look at that listing and look at the photos, you should really do yourself a favor and take a look, because there's some of the most glorious wallpaper in that home that I've seen as of late. The January market has also had some bidding wars, so I want to give a shout out to the home that procured the highest percentage overbid. And that award goes to 3209 Bunker Hill Lane, listed by Trevor Richardson at Address Income, who does a really nice job of highlighting the income potential of certain properties. And this is a tenant occupied property, and it sold for $23,000 over its list price of $430,000. So for $453,000, that's 5.35% over the list price. So that's a great result. And I suspect the buyers are really happy that they won the bidding war in that situation. Next time, I'm going to talk about 5 owner-inflicted improvements that cost a lot of money and don't necessarily increase the value of your home, and sometimes may decrease the value. I'm also going to talk about 5 school zoning mistakes I see being made again and again by realtors. And sometimes it's not their fault. I'll explain next time. Thanks for sticking around.